Mic check, mic check. Feeling a little under the weather, family, but I'm back. You know I wouldn't miss this for anything in the world, man. Even though I'm not a fan of the Post Malone and possibly this new album that's coming out and the vast majority of his album, but you know, the reviews and going through and spending hours listening to the old albums leading up to the new ones. For those of you who don't know right now, we're listening to Post Malone, what is this? The Stoney album. Right now in the Discord, link of it is in the description below. All you gotta do is click on my name where it says Spotify, and you can tune into everything that I'm listening. But so, waiting on this 12 Carat Toothache album that's coming out allegedly at midnight, which, whatever. Like I said, not a huge fan. And we're about to analyze and break down exactly why. See, Post Malone is the culture vulture of hip-hop industry. Like, not the only one, not the newest one, just one that did move the needle. You feel me? He over-promoted, overhyped, made into a phenomenon. And that's usually just how these things go, you know? See, we as a culture, we take the scraps of what mainstream people, they're not using, and then we make it hot. And then they expand, and they take all the dollars and show us exactly how much they actually cared for us. And like I said, Post Malone ain't the new one. He ain't the only one. He's just one of the more later ones that moved the needle that became one of the biggest. I mean, look at Kid Rock, Lyle Cohen, who was called out by Dame Dash as he's saying, like, my main concern is the bottom line, not the artist that signed to me. DJ Vlad, who was all but, you know, law enforcement at this point. You got Kim K, Kylie Jenner, Iggy Azalea, Justin Timberlake. Like, you take your pick to go along with Post Malone. These is the culture vultures. The people that come to our culture to come up off of us, to take what we do, bring it to the subsection of mainstream, and then leave us behind and don't care nothing about us. And then take every instance that they can to somewhat crap on us, even though we the ones who made you into something. I mean, let's look at Post Malone. See, he created the song White Iverson. That's really what made him take all the way off. Why did he create the song White Iverson? Because it was the first time he got his hair cornrowed up. And he needed to find some way to swag it out, a new style, because all the other iterations of music that he's ever been a part of, he's failed at. And then before that, you know, he was doing the meme type, genre type music where that was trash. And then he dropped the M-bomb or something on a Vine, I believe it was. Vine before everything else, before it all changed up. But then SoundCloud took White Iverson. We are the ones who make the needle move on social media, especially on SoundCloud. We took White Iverson, and he's never looked back since. And you know, we cannot... Well, before we even jump into that, let's talk about this this album that we're listening to right now. This we're not going to last too long on them because 12 o'clock is when the album is going to come out. So we can only spend but so much time on it. But so 2015, 2016 is when Stoney came. Stoney came out 2016, but yet he was made prominent in 2015 with the single White Iverson, which was part of the Stoney album. Now, White Iverson went 8 times platinum in its own regard. In fact, I think that song is about to come up soon. In fact, all these songs is kind of whack, so let's just move on to White Iverson now. White Iverson, 2015, 8 times platinum. Then after that came Too Young. That was his second single off this project, and that went platinum. Go Flex was his third single. Like, you realize how many singles they give each of his individual projects. Even the most successful rappers of other inclinations who get super successful joints like this don't see this many singles or whatever. Go Flex, the next song, went 4 times platinum. Then there's Deja Vu. Deja Vu is one that, a lot of people recognize a lot from this project. That one only went platinum though. But the main one, the main song, besides White Iverson, that this album Stoney is somewhat known for, is that Congratulations. That joint went diamond for those of you who didn't know. Give props to Metro Boomin and Quavo. Much like all of his #1 hits, you can see the direct reference to the black acts that he needed to make it happen. And it's crazy because these acts, some of them, didn't have a #1 record of their own, but some way, somehow, once they go ahead and get tied to this guy and the mass promotion that goes along with it, then #1 records tend to just fall out of nowhere. And personally, I think White Iverson was just too unentertaining for me. It was big. I give it the respect that people still like it to this day. Like, I know youngins from like clubs and stuff that I used to do like photo booth and stuff at, man. A lot of kids, they're like, oh, you crazy. Like, when I have conversations with them, like, you crazy. Post Malone was so amazing. Like, he's not. Nothing about him's amazing, but you like him, so therefore he's going to be somebody. But for the most part, from the ground up, skill set after skill set, it didn't matter. He was going to succeed because of the mass promotion, not because he's actually good. But we cannot talk about Post Malone if we don't talk about Charlemagne the God. Like, Charlemagne the God went on like a whole campaign against him, and I'm not even sure if he even has backtracked on anything about it to the slightest to this point right now. And that's one of the things that I respect Charlemagne the God for. You feel me? Charlemagne, he doesn't always keep it real, because I got my issues with him as well. But in this aspect, I don't think he's entirely wrong. I don't think he was 100% wrong or bad for what he was saying. He was telling us what's on his heart. And I think he was right to a lot of the degree. I could pass on that. So, what was he saying? Like, the main thing that Charlemagne had against Post Malone would be the Rolling Stones interview that he had, where he said, yo, don't listen to hip hop if you want to cry, if you want to have emotions, if you care about lyricism. Don't listen to hip hop. Word. And I think, and I definitely believe Charlemagne said it right. Like, no, nobody wants to listen to you if they want to go through emotions and then listen to lyricism and things of that nature, because that's not what you do. That's not what you bring to the table. That's not a very strong part of your skill set. Which is completely facts. Completely facts. Like, okay, if I want to listen to lyricism, I could go old school, older school. I'm not fully old school. Well, yeah, let's go old all the way up to new. We could listen to Jay-Z, Nas if you want lyricism. You want more lyricism? You could go more recently. You go to Eminem if you need be. For as much as people want to like knock it and all that stuff, I do believe Eminem is a solid lyricist when you break down just the X's and the O's of how you spit bars. Yeah. But let's get a little more recent. I would prefer Nick Grant right now, lyricist, over top of the vast majority of individuals that's coming out in the game. Especially Post Malone. Somebody that actually has something to say that you can tie plenty emotions to, that actually brings quality to the game, even though he's not getting the mass promotion that Post Malone is getting. As now we're listening to the congratulations. But who else lyrically would I like to listen to? Let me hold up. I mean, lyrically, we could listen to Coi Leray. He's still doing his thing right now. Kendrick Lamar, who's amazing still. These is all hip-hop genres. Lyricists. That if you want to hear something quality, they're there. And they're dropping quality music right now. If you want to hear, you want to have emotions. Like, and I'm not even like the biggest fan of, say, a Kid Cudi, but yet ain't he like to the forefront of what emotional rap is, emo rap to a degree at this point in time? Ain't that what hip hop is all about? You want others that are like, that got more emotions to the joint? I don't know, Earth Gang. Earth Gang may not be the most phenomenal lyricist, but yet they tie emotions directly to the music and concepts. Cordae. I think Cordae is a pretty phenomenal emotional based rapper. Not the best, but he's good. There's a lot of quality acts out there that clearly Post Malone doesn't listen to. But yet he wants to be he wanted to be part of of this culture in order to get put on. But then turns around and just spazzes on them. You think like the Migos who helped put you on, who gave him 10 times platinum selling album, diamond single? You think the Migos are tied to emotions? You wrong. But then, okay, he also spoke on Justin Bieber where, this is where Charlemagne the God is like, yo, how could you talk about Justin Bieber who's getting his life together? I'm like, F Justin Bieber too. Justin Bieber is just as, well, I'm not going to say Justin Bieber is a confirmed racist to me based on some of the things that his jokes, his N-word jokes that he likes to say with his friends. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm cool on Justin Bieber, but yet Charlemagne is was caping for Justin Bieber because he didn't want to be perceived in a particular way, which that is what it is. Oh, as now we're on up there, and that's the standing 4 count from the Neptunes. So I'll peep it. But then after this, we're going to probably go to Flex, and then move on because I only got 20 minutes per album. But after that, Charlemagne also pressed Post Malone on the Black Lives Matter movement. Like, what do you do? What did you do for the Black Lives Matter movement? And you know, he didn't press politicians that hard. Like he wanted to go out of his way to show you that, you know, he is a industry plant, 1, 2, who pretty much is a vampire of the entire culture, the culture vulture. He wanted to go out of his way to showcase this, and he knew he didn't have no answers to these questions, which, hey, whatever. I don't care what Post Malone has to say about the Black Lives Matter movement or anything of that nature, because he's an entertainer who shouldn't have any kind of mentality for it, but yet he should have been prepared for these types of questions. If you want to do black music, then you gotta have something to say at least on the black movements that's going on at that particular time. Not taking that away, that it was a scumbag answer that he had, and it wasn't cool. But I didn't expect much from it. But, I mean, did he press Kamala Harris this hard? No. He asked a couple questions in there to Kamala Harris that needed to be asked, but yet his stupid questions is what she tripped up on, and therefore she pretty much got spoiled over. Like, her whole presidential campaign went downhill because of his ignorance, not because of him pressing her like he pressed Post Malone. He didn't press Hillary Clinton this hard. And this is where I had my issues with Charlemagne the God. Because as much as you want to be for the culture and all this stuff, there's a lot of instances where you just are showcased as a do-boy for the Democrats. But whatever. Post Malone shouldn't have gotten into black music if he had negative opinions or no opinion at all about black political movements, black movements that's going on with us. You feel me? And definitely should have helped out with some of the things that we had going on. But he didn't. And next, we're going up to Bill Bongs and Bitleys. In fact, we're about to go up to there now. Right now, going through these whack ads as usual. But it is what it is. But okay, let's go ahead and look. As I listen to that Stoney, I understand why it went 5 times platinum. You know, I don't think it was horrible. Much like the vast majority of Post Malone's music, I don't think he's that horrible that Charlemagne the God should have been like campaigning heavy against him for all that time. I don't think he was that horrible. There's far worse out there that's getting mass promoted by the music industry, that they go to the Breakfast Club and get promotion, and he may not like overtly push them like, oh, this is like the best new rapper. No, it may not do that, but they still get promotion through your platform. You feel me? I don't think Post Malone is completely horrible, but is he 5 times platinum, diamond selling song, 8 times platinum out the gate single? Is he that good? I don't believe he is. I really don't believe that he is at all. But now let's go on ahead to Bill Bongs and Bentley. And you know, we gotta first start it off with Rockstar. As this album right here went 5 times platinum, came out in 2018. And Rockstar happened to be his first #1 record. Like even White Iverson that went 8 times platinum never became a #1 record. How is that possible? Especially when Rockstar didn't sell as much as White Iverson? Because, you know, that #1 record thing, that's for mainstream. That's really for when you're getting mass promotion. They find a way. What they do is they put your stuff all over the radio. They mass promote you everywhere so that you can accumulate all of these views and all that stuff at a massive rate. And then from there, you are given this #1 status because people are keeping track of it. White Iverson was dropped somewhat independent from the beginning, and then it led into his Stoney album. A lot of that 8 times platinum off of that, they wasn't checking for it. They wasn't counting it towards any of the weekly records, any of the weekly Billboard or anything like that. So therefore, it didn't matter. If a tree falls and nobody else is around, did it make a noise? That's how the music industry treats you if you're doing numbers and they don't respect your numbers. But so this is his first #1 record featuring 21 Savage. Like I said, he owes everything that he got to the black artists that he liked to talk about. How, oh, if you listen to if you want emotions, if you want lyricism or anything like that, then don't listen to rap. At the time that 21 Savage was doing his thing, the time that 21 Savage was attached to your #1 record. Now, is it because of did that go #1 because it's you, or because 21 Savage was popping? We will never know. But I like to lean towards every #1 big name artist that you had tend to push you to a higher level. It's not hard to draw the direct comparisons. Now, okay. For me, I am not a fan of Post Malone. Never was to begin with. Why? Let's start with the vocals. There's too many effects, which he likes so many effects on his voice that it sounds like he's speaking into a metal fan from way back in the day that used to rotate or whatever. It gives you like a metallic-like sound that people would sing into the fan and make it seem like, so that they could seem like they could sing, you dig? Like it was all jokes before, but he took it and made it into a style. And then I'm not a big fan of his skill set either. Where are we at? Let's listen to Candy Paint instead. We going straight to Candy Paint. Now that Rockstar is over. But you feel me? Like, okay, there are actual people out there who can sing, who don't need layers upon layers of effects on their voice to sound a particular way. People who don't need, who don't absolutely need the best production possible to make average songs. And that's what it is. Like, he's not so bad that he's taking amazing production from the Neptunes and you name them and making it worse as it goes. No, he holds enough of his own that it can pass. But yet there are artists out there who can take far lesser production because they have far lesser budgets. Like, say, DVSN, guys who have a far lesser budget, but the singer is far better of a singer than what Post Malone has ever been, to the point that the records, that there's one that's a writer, one that's a singer, the records ultimately help push up Drake continuously still, and their own individual records are beautiful, far better than anything of a 10 times the budget that you're getting from Billabongs and Bentleys. But yet, they're not getting that same acclaim, and I wonder why. Most likely because they don't fit the skin complexion. They don't get the hype, the overhype from the mainstream media that you have to peep this guy out because we tell you to, and we want music to be in a particular way that we can take it from you. Like, he's someone with no actual lyricism that mainstream locked in on him because they actively promote music with no messages. Why do they do this? It's seen in movie after movie after movie. Go back to Dreamgirls, where they had all kinds of songs that they talk about breakups and R&B and all that stuff. But he's like, look, man, I need something that people don't want to think about. They just need to be in their car. In my Cadillac, Cadillac, Cadillac. Look at my Cadillac car. It doesn't have to be anything of substance. It doesn't have to, you don't have to say anything. We just need something that we can listen to while in my Cadillac so people can see me. I'm a star. This is the formula in which the mainstream has continued to push throughout the entirety of mainstream's existence. So it's the people who are not substantive, people who don't have anything to say, people who can make something catchy enough that gets the attention of the mainstream for whatever reasons. These are the people that see the most success and sees the most dollars. And that's why there's always been a line between the people that are actually quality acts that bring substance to the table and those who are just commercialized acts. And that's pretty much all that Post Malone is. And there go Post Malone with the like, come on, man. Tell me he does not sound like a fan. Oh, what up? We got some people. What up, Trent LaRufa? Said he's excited. You think it's gonna be the best album? I think it has a chance. I think it has a chance of being Post Malone's best album because it was like, it's not like you're going into this the most prolific artist there was, you feel me? Like, he definitely has his own quality, his own style, and I think he has all the abilities to be able to top his past works, because his past works wasn't the most artistic pieces ever known to man. You feel me? What up, Gunna C? How long till it drops? Half an hour. It should drop at midnight. But we do not know. Hey, you don't know until the joint drops. But yet, it should drop in midnight though. Usually, everything drops at midnight. So what are we listening to right now? We're listening to Sugar Wraith. But that's not what we're going to continue on though. We got to go to Psycho. Man, some of these joints got crazy views, man. Like, Rockstar got 2,500,000,000 streams. The next song, Psycho, 1,300,000,000 streams. Better Now, 1,500,000,000 streams. Like, this album was pretty big, bro. Like, you cannot take away from the fact that he hit when he hit the pop culture, he hit on the highest level. He hit a whole bunch of high numbers that, you know, we don't see all too often. And that's good for him, man. That's really good for him. But I'm not trying to confuse mainstream commercialized pop music with great classical bodies of music. You feel me? There's a difference. He's a super successful industry act that deserves his props. But not in context of great music, not in the context of being an amazing artist. He deserves his props in the context of being super successful and being able to push to where he's at now. That's pretty much it, in my opinion. See, I give him props for his success, but yet it's the fact that he's the type of person that needed to tone on hip hop at every moment and talk trash about it, but yet needed individual hip hop acts from Nicki Minaj, who we're about to listen to her song, The Bell for Me, next. He needed Ty Dolla $ign, he needed 21 Savage. He needed 2 Chainz. He needed a lot of the hip hop culture. He needed Quavo, pretty much the Migos. He needed a lot of the culture of hip hop in order for him to get where he wanted to go. But then the first moment he got on the Rolling Stones, threw shade, man. So I can't sit here and be excited and give super props to somebody who you see exactly his feelings towards my culture. But it is what it is. See, as I listen to this beer bongs and Bentleys, I wish I had the time to actually break it down. I mean, I already made a review to it, in which I might go back and because I know I did a review for beer bongs and Bentleys. Maybe I didn't do Hollywood's Bleeding. I probably did. I probably did all of these albums, man. Let me go ahead and look that up. Give me 1 second. I make so many reviews, man, that it is hard to keep track of all of them. And, sometimes certain ones get certain projects, get slept on. Not necessarily slept on, but they get caught up in a whole bunch of other releases. Show all. Let's see. As we got an ad on the Discord. For those of you who don't know, listening to the album, the new album is coming out in a half an hour. And when it does drop, we will listen to it entirely before I get to the review. Yeah, I reviewed every single one of his albums. Ain't that something? None of them got slept on. So if you're not in the Discord for when the album does drop, be prepared, because it is dropping at 12 o'clock, and we're going to listen to it, and we're going to give our own points of view as the time continues to come through. And in 5 minutes, we're going to switch over to the Hollywood's Bleeding album from 2019. Now, okay. As I go back and look at all these reviews that I had as I reviewed all three, I have not been impressed by any of Post Malone's albums. And that is what it is, though. I'm the type of individual that likes lyricism. And we back. We're going to listen to Ball For Me featuring Nicki Minaj. But I like lyricism. I like conceptually driven type projects. I like new creative. I like things from individual acts that, you don't have to add so many effects to your voice in order to sound decent. I like the core fundamentals of it done well. You feel me? And I'm not saying that, Post Malone is complete trash. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is there's far better out there that we could choose from that could deliver this kind of music with a different twist, with better quality. Somebody who could actually sing for themselves, that actually has things to say. People like, say, I don't know, IDK, Saba. I'll even take Rex Orange County, bro. I'll listen. Rex Orange County isn't like a vulture of the culture at all. He comes in his own UK fashion and can actually sing, has his own talents, play his own keyboard, and I don't think he's the most amazing act, but I would rather have Rex Orange County than Post Malone. But we talking individuals who sing. I would take Earth Gang. I would take Tory Lanez. Is it even? Come on, we got Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak out here, dude. Like, there's so much better quality acts that's out there. But it is what it is. I'm not saying that he's the worst singer / rapper that blends it together that's out there in the game. No, man. We're living in that. We're living in a time period where music has been trash. And with music being as bad as it is, individuals like Post Malone has been able to stand up and stand out a little bit. At a better time period, I think Post Malone would have definitely got crapped on and not allowed to be super successful. But yet, I think the game got dismantled to a degree so that individuals like Post Malone can shine. Like, They went out of their way to dismantle quality music for the lesser acts to actually have a chance. And I dare you to challenge that. But now we're going to go ahead and move on to Hollywood's Bleeding. What song we going to talk about? We're going to start with Circles. So, Hollywood's Bleeding, the new album the latest album from 2019, went 3 times platinum, which is less than his previous two works. Could that be the trend that he's finally descending in value out here in the commercial industry? Could be. You only have but so much of a run, but you got to give it to him. His run has been amazing. Starting out, White Iverson 8 times platinum as a single from the underground, which led him into his deal, which the deal gave 5 times platinum Stoney, 5 times platinum Billabongs and Bentleys. Now 3 times platinum Hollywood's Bleeding. Solid numbers, man. And this is why I have respect for the work that they put out, because, hey, man, just because you got a lot of money tied into the promotion doesn't automatically guarantee you that you're going to see this success. It doesn't. We see this oftentimes. The record labels will put a lot of effort behind a single that goes nowhere at all. Something about Post Malone clicked with his audience, with the masses, with the pop culture, and the commercial industry. Something clicked, and he deserves his props and recognition for that. As the singles from this, Wow, Goodbyes, Circles, which is the song we're listening to right now, which is his last #1 song, I think. Not entirely sure if any of the new singles became #1. Let's look that up. Let's look that up right quick. One moment. It's not gonna be that long. On one right now, the lead single, featuring The Weeknd, clearly. It peaked at #6. And then there's Cooped Up with Roddy Ricch. So it did hit the #1 on the rhythmic chart, but that no one counts the rhythmic chart. So as the Cooped Up hit #8. So far he hasn't had a #1 single. And we'll see if they'll, he already got 2 singles so far, and it seems like he's averaging 5 singles per album. Another ad. But seems like he's averaging 5 to 6 singles per album, so he's 2 deep already, and that means 3 to 4 more is to come. I think the trajectory is definitely heading in the wrong direction. But as I'm saying, bro, I'm not saying everything that he's done has been trash. I'm just saying that it's not for me. There are far better artists that's out there that I would rather have, that, now what I am saying is that he used the culture, foundational black hip hop culture, and never gave back anything to it. That's what I am saying. What I am saying is he doesn't respect the culture through his own actions and his interviews that he's had over and over. But what I'm also saying is you guys, the audience, his audience, and a bunch of black audience fans that really love his stuff, hey, I'm not gonna hate you for liking and being supportive of whatever. Well, let's go ahead, listen to the Enemies with the Baby. I'm not mad at you for liking what you do, liking the music that you like and all that stuff. I'm just saying that you guys want a white savior so bad that you let him be to the utmost of successful, that you pushed him, helped push him to the heights, that you won't push individuals that are far better, that actually will do things for the culture. Somebody that will actually, speak out about, say, the Chicago, not Chicago, but the, what was it? The shooting that happened out there in Buffalo. Like somebody who would actually, do something about it, use their influence, actually try to say something to actually calm down his culture, where he's coming from. Somebody who will actually do something like that, but not Post Malone. That's what he's proven throughout his entire legacy of what he's about. But you guys want a white savior so bad that you create monsters like this. And I don't think he's a horrible person on top of it neither. Because when you go through and look at his interviews and things of that nature, he just seems to be a young dude that's trying to live his life, that's trying to make his own music and do what he needs to do. But yet, he went about it the worst possible ways. And he only got hyped through black culture, but yet he won't give black culture anything for it. He won't give it props, won't give us nothing but disdain. And as I'm listening to this, re-listening to this Hollywood bleeding, like, bruh, we listened to three, and we didn't even, go all the way in and listen to every single song like I usually would like to do. If I was feeling up to it, man, I would have started 2 hours like I did, what album was it? For the Kendrick albums. We started 2 hours ahead of time in order to go through as much as the albums as we possibly could. But like I said, man, I'm not feeling well. So it was not going to happen today. 20 minutes was the best y'all can get out of me out of all of these leading up to this joint. But from just listening to the singles, man, you hear the commonality amongst all of the songs. As now is Take What You Want with Ozzy Osbourne and Travis Scott. That's what I'm listening to now. Like, his whole style of singing, the whole lack of conceptuals, lack of lyricism, over-reliance on effects. But yet it's not done in a horrible manner because he happened to have some of the best producers, some of the best people working with him to make his stuff quality, dude. Like, you can't take that away from the quality of the work that's getting put out there. It's like, okay, even the bad Marvel movies are good to a degree because they have like productive value that goes beyond the scene, behind the scenes and stuff. They have production value that's on a standard that they're never going to drop from because they're a machine. That's exactly what the mainstream media, mainstream record labels, if they so decide to put people on through it, that's what they do to you. They'll put you in the machine that'll emphasize the best parts of what you got and make it into something better. And Post Malone got a little something to work with. We cannot completely hate on him and say that, oh, you're complete trash. None of your stuff is good. Like how Charlemagne the God went on a whole campaign for. We can't do that. Why? Because we tell the truth. Tell the truth that the music isn't horrible. Oh, there are far worse out there. Have you been following the music industry? Let me bruh, have you heard of what's his name? I cannot think of his name. SSG Kobe. Have you heard of SSG Kobe? And I will say that he's bad because he doesn't have the production value. He doesn't have the push. He doesn't have anybody trying to help him understand the quality of what it takes to create music. But he's putting out the music that he wants to put out, and he's finding his own success. He's going to be a successful act one way or other because he has his own audience. I give him props for that. But he's not very good at all. Trippie Redd. Have you heard of Trippie Redd? This is how bad the game is. A lot of people have heard of Trippie Redd. I know a lot of people like Lil TJ. I know a lot of people like Lil TJ. Oh, what do we want to listen to next? Let's listen to Goodbyes with Thugger. But have you heard of Lil TJ? I'm not saying Lil TJ is horrible, but he's not very good now either. And it's not just on that aspect of the game. You can look at 42 Dugg ESTG, like in the trap direction, the trap sector of the game. Put on through Yo Gotti, and you know, they deliver exactly what Yo Gotti delivered, but yet not on a very good level. Neither of them I would actually really rock with. But then look at the commercial super commercial industry, like right there with Post Malone. Jack Harlow. I don't think Jack Harlow is bad per se either, but I don't think he's exactly magnificently talented. There's a lot of bad acts that's out here in the game, dude. A lot of bad artists dropping a lot of bad music. People who aren't making a name for themselves on the low end and on the high end already made a name for trash music, but yet people gonna push them regardless. When you have a large selection of artists that's out here, man, that actually are deserving, who actually are deserving of a massive push, that really do need people to help support them and all of that stuff, man. All of these caliber of artists, Like, bro. There's a lot of better acts out there. But yet, this is who we got. Post Malone. This is the guy that's pushed to the forefront of the mainstream. That now we have everyone waiting on the new album, the 12 Carat Toothache. And after listening to all of these singles and hearing the comparisons to all of these joints from all of his albums, I think we already know exactly what the album's going to sound like, right? Like, I don't think the next album is going to be entirely that different. Is that hard on a commercial? Yeah, that's hard on a nationwide commercial. She's going straight acoustic. Why are you wearing like baby mama attire, washed up baby mama attire for your commercial? But we got 4 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 4 minutes. So we can fit one more song in here. And let's do the Spider-Man joint. Because that one I actually did kind of like. Like the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse single that he had, that was kind of fire. Cause that got 2,300,000,000. Now, did I like it more because of Sway Lee? I think so. And that's crazy. Like, Sway Lee and the Ray Shamard cats, like, I was not a big fan of these kids for the longest. And now music has gotten so bad that I'm like, yo, could we go back to the time when Ray Shamard was actually the popping artists in the mainstream? Because at least they were creative. Let's give them that. At least they were creative. Three minutes, ladies and gentlemen. At least allegedly. Because you always should know that these programs, it don't take much for them to crash. So that, this might just crash. Spotify might just crash mad quick as soon as the album drops, because there's so many people that's waiting on this. In fact, if we cut through right now, I'm gonna listen to Wow. Now we're gonna cut through it so that we can. This will be the last song going directly into the album. Well, actually, no. Let's listen to the singles so that we can prepare. Because what's the point? We got 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen, as we're listening to Coop It Up, leading up to the single. I mean, the single for the new album. Up 12 o'clock. Let's see what's hitting. We got it. We got it, ladies and gentlemen. Discord link in the description. We're currently listening to 12 Carat Toothache. Reputation, the first song. It's an only 14 track album. And all the songs is short. What's up, Aquila? Amini? I know I just slaughtered your name. How you doing? We're listening to it in the Discord. Link to it in the description below. We just started it because we just got it on. Ha. See, that's what I'm talking about with the heavy, the super heavy effects. And he got his own theme. What up, William Hauser? It's already out. It just dropped. We're listening to it in the Discord as we speak. What did it leak? Different time zone. I see. They messed up the time zones. So certain people in different places. I see. Where you from? Where you from? Where you from? So Morocco has already listened to the album, and that's mainly because the timeline has been because the time zone got flipped up. Respect. And then it blends into Cooped Up. Like, I like that intro. Like that intro, very melodic. Uh, he didn't differentiate his sound effects that he's constantly going to go through, like everything, but yet just versatile enough to have it all feel different. The production, like I said, that's one of his strengths. Having really good production actually helps the fact that he's a limited artist to actually create quality stuff. Reputation was not a bad intro. Intro was cool. Was good. But you can he to oh yeah. The transition, it did transition directly into the cooped up, how they blended that together. That wasn't bad. That wasn't that wasn't too bad. See now you're beginning to excite me when you tell me that he is going to change up the formula and it's not going to be the same thing. But forgive me that I don't believe. Ads like they usually do. Like, see, here's the thing that I've realized, especially for the new album, the brand new album that comes out, the big name one that drops. Usually, these are the ones that get the most ads because they know that everybody is listening. But I'm cool with the ads because it gives me a chance to think about the songs and actually put it into context of how things is going on. And so far, it's been more of the same. So far, it's been more of the same, but I think it's going to, with as we're getting reports in from around the world, it gets better, it switches up, hopefully. But it is difficult for me to believe because I know you're a fan. I'm coming into this not as a fan of Post Malone. I'm coming into this as a fan of music. And I really want to see what all he got. Now we're on Lemon Tree, ladies and gentlemen. Lemon Tree. Something better. Like he's going full country. I mean, yes, it's country with what is that? It's like country and new age. Like country and new age, kind of. Blend. Like country and new age blend. Country, new way. Alternative rocks, hell yeah. Yeah, so we're on wrapped around your finger right now for everybody in YouTube land, and yeah, it is like a alternative rock and roll joint right here. And I mean, see, a lot of I'm always considered as the hip hop reviewer and all that, but I do listen to all genres. You did. Around your finger, wrapped around finger. So, what would you consider this one to be then? what you... This is, well, you know. This is well, that exciting. That excites me. Yeah, so the I Like You featuring Doja Cat. This song is his straight up pop. And that's a shame because Doja Cat is a supremely talented individual, regardless of how much I like her either. I don't like her either. But I know the versatility and talent that she has that can make a phenomenal song all the way around. And this is just cupcake icing on top of what she can do. I mean, if generic pop song had a title, it would be I Like You, Post Malone featuring Doja Cat. That's what this makes me feel like. Generic pop song number one. As you know, Post Malone did say that this was the shortest album that he's released. And yeah, it is. We almost at the halfway point and they keep throwing ads. They keep throwing the ads up in there. But now it's advertisement. We're listening to the Horror Nationwide commercial. And I'm cool on listening to it for a second time. Ah, oh, man, my ribs is killing me. But I mean, so far, it hasn't been like something extremely like a must-have album. We almost to the halfway point, and I understand the fans who's showing up, who want it to be great, who's super excited for. I respect it. I think you guys have every entitlement that you feel as though you need in order to get the music that you want. But we're getting generic pop songs, generic not generic because there was the song there that was a blend of country and new age to a degree. But now we on I Cannot Be, a sadder song. So I guess this is part 2 to Doja Cat. But this got Gunna. Okay, this is one of the songs that I'm going to have to analyze. Like, why are they part 1 and part 2? Now, my first assumption would be song 1, I like you, but yet you want me to be something other than what I want to be. I think that's how these two songs interact. But, you know, things like that is always a good sign for the album when you have actual concepts and themes. Okay, we're on insane right now. Am I the only one who's noticing? Like, okay, he's jumping from artist to artist to artist that he wants to sound like here. Like, you hear the influence of Travis Scott. Was that Thugger like influence? I mean, it's dynamic. I give him that. It's dynamic. I haven't heard someone featuring so many of these artists but doing it all himself. It's an okay track. It's just, I don't know about that one, dog. Your love-hate letter to alcohol. I'll probably analyze that a little bit more as well. But that one had a good vibe. Like, I like the rock feel to it. That's more common with his whole style that he's been doing the entire way. But I like it. Like, just because you've been doing it forever doesn't mean that you can't do a smooth variation of it. No, I'm feeling. Fuck. Fuck. Wasting Angels with the Kid Leroy. Uh, More of a religious gospel like undertone for powerful, better vibes. And I mean, see, and that's what I'm talking about when it comes down to he got good producers. He got good quality production that'll push no matter what he does to another stratosphere. I think it was more of a more. I don't think it's supposed to affect you, touch you in a positive way. I feel it's more generic, but it is what it is. No, there's one thing that I hate the most. One of the things that I really hate, and it would be having a mouse that does not work like it really needs to. It's nothing more frustrating. But we're about to cue up Euthanasia. There we go. Euthanasia, track number 10. And this is When I'm Alone, as we was just talking about this in the Discord. This is the alternative rock song right here. Uh, and now we are on the song Waiting for a Miracle. And I mean, what is this? This is track 12 out of 14? But I'm not impressed. I don't, like I said about his previous works, same concept applies. It's not bad. He got quality enough producers. The jumping from genre to genre. But the thing is, nothing about this moves me. Now we're back on the single. We're on the single one right now with The Weeknd. Like, we're pretty much coming to a conclusion, man. We're wrapping it up. We are now on the one right now, featuring The Weeknd. The end of the album, pretty much. If you do the timing of it, the album is only about 45 minutes. Well, with this 46, 40, it's gonna be about 47 minutes, 48 minutes. And I'm gonna go back and listen to some more before I put out my review and all that stuff. I'm gonna analyze and break down some specific songs that have some intrigue to it. But as of now, I will say that yeah. Like, okay. He has good production value. I like that he's switching genres a lot. But he's still reliant on the same auto-tune sound effects. Lyricism. I'm gonna break down some of these joints that are connected, that he actually has things to talk about, but nothing really stood out to me like, yo, this was amazing right here. Nothing on that. My overall feelings is, man, after today, I probably won't listen to this album again until the next one. Just like the last ones. Because, I mean, there are some songs that I think are definitely worth multiple plays, to gather understandings, and to hear the dynamic of what he's trying to do. Like Lemon Tree. Lemon Tree had that country music / new age. And then you got I Like You and I Cannot Be, where those songs all related one way or the other. Not entirely sure how yet, but I got a decent feeling that I will figure it out rather soon. But stuff like that, it is worthwhile to analyze and see what's going on. But I'm not going to sit here and say like, yo, these are must-haves for my playlist. I'm going to hit the like button on it so that I can peep these joints more and more. Nah. This is just an experience that I'm never going to tone down a new music experience for the weekend. I guess this is one of the most hyped commercialized pop acts at this point in time right now, because couldn't we even consider him still into the hip-hop genre? Like, I appreciate the work that went in on this. I appreciate the fact that it does look like he did work hard on it. But it's not one for me, though. We're on the last song. Well, the new recordings, 12. January 3rd, 2020. So this was height of pandemic. Oh no, this was like just before the pandemic, huh? So that's where he got some of the concepts for euthanasia and other. Oh, what was the other name of the song? I forget. But that's what he was like. He'll film like short recordings and then make full songs of. Like that's how a lot of artists do the thing. So I mean, overall thoughts. I'm not super impressed. I'm not super disappointed neither. Like I came into it expecting it to be like this. Something that, will come and go for me that I have very little interest in. But I don't think that it's necessarily bad per se. I just think that it's not entertaining or of the level of the great musicians that we have out here today. You feel me? He has some talent. It gets gobbled up in his auto-tune mashup force that he puts out there. He doesn't spend nearly as much enough time at becoming prolific with the pen and the pad. He spends the vast majority of his time crafting vibes that his audience definitely does enjoy, as his audience definitely showed up today. Like, a lot of them want to talk to me like how this is a masterpiece of an album and they really enjoyed it. Hey, and I feel you. Hey, feel how you feel. Enjoy the album. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just here to tell you that, nah, this ain't it. There's far better singers, lyricists, writers that's in a similar genre to what he's doing to actually get too caught up on what this album actually was. It was cool. But I'm going to go ahead and continue to listen to it, continue to break it down so that we can have a review later tonight. It's almost 1 o'clock. My night is just starting. So I appreciate everybody who came through here, man. I'm going to go ahead and get to work so that this video can be up at a decent time tonight. Appreciate everybody who pulled up. Regardless of how you feel, I think everybody got something out of this that they really wanted. It is what it is. Me, I guess I got content. You guys be easy. Catch y'all on the other side.